For those of you who do not know, I am an extreme. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge Avatar fan, and today Avatar is coming to Netflix. So to commemorate the occasion, I decided to upload a video that was more or less relevant to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So, this is the Garden Gate at scudpaisho.com. It's an amazing site. You can play all different kinds of variations of Pai Sho. It's a ton of fun. Seriously, I suggest anyone watching this at least go and play 1 or 2 games. This video is focused on Vagabond Pai Sho, specifically an opening for Vagabond Pai Sho. Vagabond Pai Sho is very chess-like, and so using specific strategies within an opening, a middle game, and an end game are very useful. So this is an opening that I created called the Fire Lilly Attack. Now, before I get into this, if you don't know how to play Vagabond Pai Sho, stop watching this video and go watch the one by Scud Pai Sho that he made that actually outlines all the rules, which I'll leave linked in the description. So the Fire Lilly Attack is obviously focused around the Fire Lily, but more broadly, it's about gaining control of the center, and then from that, being able to attack from the center to the edges of the board and just constantly battering your opponent with attacks. So the first move of the Fire Lily Attack is to take your Fire Lily, play it into the center. So that's going to create a game for me. Okay, so is to play your Fire Lily into the center. Now, the reason you want to put your Fire Lily in the center as opposed to on the edges of the board is because if you've watched the video that I mentioned, the Fire Lily lets you use the dragon. So putting it in the center gives you the full range of the dragon, whereas putting it on the edge will limit your range, similar to how a knight has limited range on the edges of a chessboard, whereas in the center it has more space to move around and has more options. So usually if you play the Fire Lily Attack, your opponent will almost always start with a wheel to attack your Fire Lily. The Fire Lily is obviously a very powerful but very vulnerable piece, so it's natural for you to immediately attack it. Now you could try to play your dragon right away, but the Fire Lily Attack is more about gaining the center, cementing it, and then attacking. So usually the next move should be to play a Badger Mole, protecting your Fire Lily. Usually you'll see that followed up with an attack on the Badger Mole. So now, at this point, you can play a Badger Mole or your dragon. I usually like to play my Badger Mole, but you can also play the dragon. This is where it kind of gets subjective. But you can play a Badger Mole or your dragon just to cement this center. But if you don't, just make sure not to play your White Lotus until you're ready to make trades and keep your center under lock. So now they will make probably a random move, like maybe playing their White Lotus here. Now you want to play your dragon up here. Your eventual goal is to put your White Lotus here as well. However, you don't want to do that yet, because if you do, so let's say that instead of this, you play your White Lotus. Now this wheel can take your Badger Mole, and even if you play your dragon in now, the wheel is going to be able to take this Badger Mole as well, letting this wheel attack your Fire Lily and then your White Lotus, completely destroying everything you set up. So instead of allowing them to make that move, you bring in your dragon first, so that as soon as this Badger Mole is taken, the dragon can take back, cutting off their attack. Now let's say they make a move like this to protect their White Lotus. Now you are free to play your Lotus into the center here. And this is the basic setup you want in the Fire Lilly attack. So you start by establishing the center. Now, something interesting though is, so if we go back a few moves, so here, chess is a very static game. And by that I mean the board is very static. If you were to change the orientation of the board, change the starting places of the pieces, you would have to use a vastly different strategy than if you were to play using the standard setup. So the difference between chess and Pai Sho in that is Pai Sho is played on a circular, very symmetrical board. So that means that this setup, this setup, this setup, and this setup are all the same. So you can play them all the same way. So going back to here, this is going to be your basic setup. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be there, but you're going to have these two wheels and then this setup for your pieces. This is what you want out of the Fire Lilly attack. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a game I played recently to help kind of give an idea of what the Fire Lilly attack is going to look like in action. So this is a game I played against Kaka. It was a very close game. If it had taken me one more move to attack his White Lotus, he would have been able to attack mine, and I would have lost. It was a very, very close game. My ability to attack his pieces came from the center I built using the Fire Lilly attack. So obviously, I started with the Fire Lilly in the center, playing a Fire Lilly attack, and he started by attacking it. I use my Badger Mole, he attacks the Badger Mole, play my dragon. So like I said, you can play a Badger Mole or a dragon first. It's really not all that important. I generally prefer to play a Badger Mole, but this time I decided to play a dragon. He plays his Bison, so this is something I didn't quite touch on, but if they play their Bison, more often than not, you're just going to want to immediately stop it with a Chrysanthemum. Just immediately put a stop to it. So from here, he goes ahead and plays his Fire Lily. So again, this gets into what I was talking about earlier. With my Fire Lily in the center, my dragon has full access to the total scope the Fire Lily gives it. This Fire Lily is cut off on this end. So those are potential squares that are now lost. So I play my other Badger Mole now because I have the time to play it. He's going to play his Lotus. So now he can take flowers, but he can't take my Badger Moles until I've played my Lotus. So now I play my wheel. Could I have played my White Lotus here? Yes. However, I'm playing my wheel here as a predictive move. This wheel is on the perfect diagonal to stop a Badger Mole being placed at either of these spots. So I'm trying to build the attack before I place my Lotus, giving me all the lines of attack that I need to break him down before I give him even the opportunity to do the same to me. So now he's going to play a Bison, and this time I want to build up that attack because it's going to take me 2 moves. So I place the wheel, he moves his Bison in, I play my Lotus. So now he can't do anything with this Bison because his Lotus is being attacked by my wheel. So he defends using his Badger Mole, and I get to capture. Now usually the wheel would be able to recapture. However, if the wheel recaptures, my wheel is going to take his White Lotus. So he has to deal with it. He plays a Badger Mole. The unfortunate thing is, no matter where he plays a Badger Mole, my wheel can take it. So I take his Badger Mole, and now he has to move his White Lotus. Now here, I probably should have blocked his Bison, because now he can take my dragon. And instead I do this. I move my wheel down, attacking his Fire Lily, bringing it closer to his White Lotus, cutting off its escapes. Anyway, let's move on. Obviously, he takes the dragon. So I'm going to stop his Bison. He's going to play his dragon to try and deal with to try and deal with my wheels. And I'm just going to go ahead and take his Fire Lily, stopping that. He's going to take my Badger Mole. I'm going to reposition this wheel, trying to bring it over here and attack the Lotus. He takes. So now we're both one move away from attacking each other's White Lotus. He can use this wheel to take this Fire Lily, thus attacking my Lotus, or he can use this wheel to take the Chrysanthemum, letting his Bison attack the Lotus. The Bison would be a much better option because the White Lotus can't escape the Bison. It would be able to escape the wheel, at least for a moment. But both of them are immediate attacks on the Lotus that I would have to deal with. And here, my next move would be to do this. The difference, though, is that it's my move. If it was his move, he would immediately be attacking my Lotus. But it's my move. So now I get to attack his Lotus. So from here, we do a little bit of a dance. And now I play my Bison. Is this necessary? Probably not. But it does kind of display a little bit of a cool tactic. So here in a second. So he needs to block. So now we dance around a little bit more. So this is a tactic here, forcing him up, and now I skewer, which is a chess term, but it means that my wheel is attacking his Lotus, and once his Lotus moves, I can take his Chrysanthemum. So his Lotus moves, I take the Chrysanthemum, which means my Bison's attacking. He blocks it, and now there's no way for me to do the same thing over again, so now I just use a chess concept called the rolling barrels, where he can't move backwards because my one wheel blocks off his retreat, and he can't stay on the same line because of the other wheel. So it just constantly is forcing him back. Now, if I ever let up on this attack, he's going to be able to attack my Lotus. But luckily, I have the space to keep attacking him. And I run him to the side of the board. He can't do anything. So now he attacks my Lotus, but it doesn't matter. He's a turn short, and I can capture his White Lotus. So, obviously, this is not the center that you want. It kind of fell apart. But the point is it held together just long enough for me to get my attack onto his Lotus. And that's the goal of the Fire Lily attack. Create a center, hold it just long enough for you to attack them. So this was the Fire Lily attack. Hope you use it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps you out in your Vagabond Pai Sho games. Go to the Garden Gate at scudpaisho.com. Play around. It's a lot of fun. If this video does well with the 10 subscribers that I have, then I'll do more with Vagabond Pai Sho. But for now, this will be it. So thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.